Welcome back. In the previous two classes, from the third chapter, we discussed what are the importance for applying that particular cutting fluids, coolants in the various machining process. So, after discussing about that particular importance or functions of cutting fluids and coolants, next we discussed about properties. So, what are the required properties for that particular cutting fluids in order to perform the required functions? Okay. So now once again just we go through that particular briefing of that particular important properties required for this particular one. So after discussing that particular what are the requirement or what are the essential functions of cutting fluids, then we are discussed regarding the what are the important required properties. So various properties required for various functions or for various purposes. Already in the previous class clearly explained. One function is required one property. So like that, in order to perform various functions, various properties are possessed to this particular cutting fluids. So that particular one is the good lubricating properties. So next one is the high heat absorption capacity. Whenever that particular high heat absorption capacity is provided or possessed by the cutting fluid, then only the maximum amount of heat removed by that particular cutting fluid from that particular job and the cutting tool. Okay, so the basic requirement of this particular one cutting fluid is whenever the cutting tool removes the material from the workpiece, what it will be the machining process. So during that particular process, because of the contact, friction generates in the contact surface. Because of that particular friction, heat generated in the contact surface for both job and workpiece and cutting tool. So in order to carry that particular heat from the job and the cutting tool, the cutting fluid required important function, that is high heat absorption capacity. Likewise, no fire or accidental hazards. In order for safety function, this property is required. So next, we should not emit toxic odors. So that what happens that if toxic odors emit, it causes harmfulness or danger for that particular operator. Always the operator present is required in that particular machines. So whenever that particular operator attended or present at that particular machine, the vapors or odors released because of the cutting tools. So in the normal situations, that particular cutting fluids may stable, but whenever that particular cutting fluids are in contact with the job, and they are carrying the heat, because of heat absorption, there are some scopes for generation or emission of vapors and toxic odors. So the cutting fluid must require the important property whenever it is in contact with a job or cutting tool which is in high temperature position or which is in a hot condition. So that particular cutting fluid must stable. That means it must not emission the particular toxic odors and vapors. So likewise, we are having various properties. It should be non-poisonous because it may the particular poisonous property of that particular cutting fluid may harmful to that particular user, not only operator. If that particular cutting fluid is having some poisonous properties, so some of its properties or some of its that particular particles may stick to that particular job, and whenever the job may used by that particular end user, it may leads to some health condition or problems to that particular user also. So this particular emission of toxic odors and vapors leads to problem for this particular operator. But this particular poisonous, if that particular coolant or cutting fluid consists this particular any poisonous effects, any poisonous properties, then it leads to problems to end user also. So that's why the particular cutting fluid should not non-poisonous. So next it is low viscosity. So if its viscosity is high, then it flow very slow, then it restrict. First of all, what is in the previous class I explained to you what is the definition of viscosity in the previous class. The ability to resist the motion of its adjacent layer is called viscosity. So if this particular cutting fluid is having high viscosity, the flow of the cutting fluid is restricted or is prevented. That's why this particular cutting fluid must require low viscosity property. So likewise, this particular one rusting property, it must prevent the rusting property, and you should not produce fog small, and it should suitable for various cutting operations, and it should not discolor the finished workpiece. Sometimes what happen, the coolant may change the color of the finished workpiece. So because of the changing of the particular color of the finished workpiece, the particular customer, those who use that particular component or that particular product in the use, he may not having satisfactory. So that's why this particular cutting fluid should not discolor the finished work. This property is also very, very important. So next, chemical stable, which is very, very important, and it should impact anti-welding properties. So high flash points and should not deteriorate in storage. So this is the briefing of the previous two classes. So after that particular previous two classes, now in this particular third class today, the topic is types of cutting fluids. So far we are not discussing about what are the types. Just we discussed about what are the functions or what are the requirements of cutting fluids. After that one, what are the properties that are required in order to perform the required or the specified functions. So in the previous class I explained, once again I am telling to you, each function is performed with a specific property. So that's why in order to perform the functions, all properties are possessed by the cutting fluids. So now the particular classification. This is the classification. What are the categories? So the particular different types of categories of fluids are, so the cutting fluids are classified into 5 main groups. So we may a large number of cutting fluids, but all these cutting fluids are in generally classified into 5 categories. So what are the 5 categories? So now I explain to you one by one. So first one is the water soluble oils or compounds. So these are the one types of cutting fluids. So some cutting fluids, they are having good property to mix within the water. Whenever that particular cutting fluid is having this particular property, the main advantage is cost reduction, because by using a small quantity of this type of cutting fluid, what is the type of cutting fluid? Water soluble oils. By using a small quantity of water soluble oil, it is mixed within the water, so that what happens, a small quantity of cutting fluid may use to prepare a large quantity of cutting fluid. So that what happen, the cost required for that particular quantity of cutting fluid will decrease. That means the oil which can mix within the water is that particular fluids, any type of cutting fluid, which can mix within the water is classified into water soluble oils. The main advantage of this particular one is cost cutting or cost reduction. That means by using a small quantity of this type of cutting fluid, a large quantity of that particular required cutting fluid is produced, because the cost of the water is very less. In sometimes the cost of water is zero and the availability of the water is abundant. Because of the abundant availability of the water, by using a small quantity of cutting fluid, the required bulky quantity of cutting fluid is produced. That's why the major advantage of this water soluble oils is cost reduction or cost cutting. So, but the problem is, in sometimes what happen, some cutting fluids may mix within the water very easily. But what the problem, because of the presence of water, some materials may leads to rust formation. That is the drawback of this particular using or application of this particular water soluble oils. So that means this type of cutting fluids used where there is no chance of rust formation when it is having contact with the particular water particles at that particular location, at that particular position. This type of water soluble oil cutting fluids may use. And the second thing is, in sometimes that particular heat produced between the job and the cutting tool may high. So the property of this particular water soluble oils is the heat carrying capacity is somewhat less. So that what happen, these particular oils is best suitable. This type of oils are best suitable where the jobs are performing a particular operations which produce low quantity of heat for the particular jobs or for the particular materials and operations only. This type of water soluble oil cutting fluids are best suitable. So the second one is straight oils. What is the meaning of straight oils? That means mineral oils and fatty oils are example for this particular straight oils. In the previous one, that means in the water solubles, what we learn, what we are observing, that means a particular quantity or a small quantity of cutting fluid is mixed within the water. That's why it is called as the water soluble oils. But why it is called as the straight oil means without mixing with any other type of fluid. That means these type of straight oils are the cutting fluids which are not mixing with either water or with any other liquid. That particular type of cutting fluids are classified into straight oils. In generally, mineral oils and fatty oils are example for straight oils. That means without mixing any other fluid, if that particular cutting fluid only, used to perform the required function, in that particular condition only, that particular oils are categorized as straight oils. So in generally, that this particular advantage of this particular straight oils is high heat absorption capacity. The major advantage of this particular straight oils is high heat absorption capacity. Because of this particular high heat absorption capacity, the heat carried by the cutting fluid is very more. That means the temperature rise between the job and cutting tool is reduced to best possible extent. That is the reason we are using this particular straight oils. That means jobs where high temperature is produced or where the heat generation is high at that particular conditions or at that particular positions, these particular straight oils are generally recommended. Okay, so that is the advantage. That means the rate of cooling effect, the rate of the heat removal is very. But the thing is, here we are using that particular straight oil directly. That means without mixing any other fluid. So that's why the cost of this particular straight oils is somewhat more. In the previous case, simply by using a 1 liter quantity of cutting fluid, 10 to 20 liters of quantity of cutting fluid may produced or prepared. But in this particular straight oil, if in order to produce or if in order to required a 10 liters oil, the quantity of required straight oil is directly 10 liters or 20 liters oil. So that's why generally maintenance cost or cost of applying the cutting fluid is somewhat high by using this particular straight oils. So next one, third category is chemically additive oils. That means some oils or some cutting fluids or some liquids are having a tendency to mix with other liquids other than the water. The best examples are sulfurized oils and chlorinated oils. These particular sulfurized oils and chlorinated oils, they can't mix with this particular water soluble oil. These particular sulfurized oils and chlorinated oils, they can't mix with this particular water. Understand or not? If this particular sulfurized oil is having a property to mix within this particular water, then this particular sulfurized oil is used to produce or to prepare water soluble oil. But the problem is the sulfuride oil can't mix with water. So that's why this particular sulfurized oil mixed with chlorinated oils. Observe carefully. This particular sulfurized oil mixed with chlorinated oils. So that what happen? Both are chemical properties. So this sulfurized oil is having some particular chemical properties, whereas this particular chlorinated oils are also having some particular properties. That's why this type of, that's why this category of oils are classified or grouped into chemically additive oils. Observe carefully. Here also cutting fluid is mixed with something, but it is mixed with not the chemical. The mixing component is water. So that is the difference between a water soluble oil and chemical additive oils. So the mixing compounds both are categorized or comes into chemicals. So that's why this type of cutting fluids are categorized as into chemically additive oils. So the advantage of this particular one is same as of this particular straight oils, the heat removal capacity or the heat carrying capacity is high. Next one, this applying or using of this particular chemical additive oils can't produce the rust formation, or there is no chance of formation of rust whenever this particular chemical additive oils are used for cooling purpose or for reducing friction between the job and cutting tool. So, but some important thing is if this particular sulfurized oils and chlorinated oils, the combination is very important. If the particular sulfurized oil quantity is increases to a large extent, then it leads to producing of harmful or emission of harmful vapors and gases. So that's why the mixing of this particular chemical additive oils should very proper or should very precautionary position. So next, chemical compounds. So here what happened? This particular chemical compounds. Here we are using in this particular one we are using two different chemicals. So that's why they are chemical additive oils. In this particular one, chemical compounds. That means a particular or a only single type of category of chemical is used for this particular purpose of removing of heat between the job and cutting tool. Then they are categorized as a chemical compounds. That means, suppose example, if only this chlorinated oil, if this only chlorinated oil is used for this particular purpose, that means if only chlorinated oil used as the cutting fluid, without mixing either into sulfurized oil or any other oil, then it categorizes into the chemical compounds. So that means the heat carrying capacity is very high as compared with the remaining three categories. At the same time, the cost required for this particular cutting fluid is also high. So that's why by using this particular chemical compounds in generally, they may be used to prepare either chemical additive oils or they may used to prepare water soluble oils. Understand? That means if a particular chemical compound, is having a tendency to mix within the water, then it is used to prepare water soluble oil, so that cost reduced. Or if that particular chemical compound can't mix within that water, then that particular chemical compound is used to prepare chemical additive oils. So that what happens, these chemical compounds conversion either into water soluble oils or into chemical additive oils leads to some cost reduction. So that is the advantage of this particular chemical compounds. So, and one more important advantage of this particular chemical compounds, the formation, the chance of formation of rust is completely eliminated. Or simply we can say there is no scope of formation of rust once the required machining process is completed. So that is the important of this particular chemical compounds. So the next one is solid lubricants. So in some situation, what happens, based on that particular type of material or based on that particular job, this particular liquid flow may leads to some problem. In that particular time, some solid lubricants are used. So generally, most of them may think that grease is a solid lubricant, but solid lubricant example is the graphite. Graphite is the best example for the solid lubricant. Grease. Some may confuse, sir. Grease is also in the solid form, but try to understand. Grease is at a solid position at normal room temperature. At elevated temperature or at operating temperature, the grease top layer or upper surface may converted into the oil position. So that's why generally grease may consider, or generally the particular grease is categorized into semi-solid lubricant, whereas the graphite is the best example for this particular solid lubricant. So after discussing, or once we know the types of cutting fluids, so what it may be the oil, what it may be the material, or what it may be the liquid, basically that particular cutting fluid or that particular lubricant, it may be classified or it may be categorized either any one of this particular five, So after knowing this, after completion of this particular types of cutting fluids, now we are supposed to observe or identify what are the different conditions or where we are supposed to use the water soluble oils, where we are supposed to sterilize with a small table. I think it comprises for 2 to 3 tables. By using that table, simply you may get a clear idea. So that's why next, after knowing or after completion of, once we know the types of cutting fluids, then we are supposed to select types of cutting. Now simply think, in front of us 5 different materials are available. So the purpose of that material is same. The purpose of any material is same in order to reduce the heat generated between the job and cutting tool and to provide smooth movement for that particular job or tool. So the purpose is same, but in front of us 5 different materials or 5 different coolants are available. Example, if you went to, or if you go to a function or if you go to a sweet shop, in front of you a number of sweets are appear, a number of sweets are placed in front of you. If it is a small function, only 2 to 3 sweets are placed in front of you. If it is a large function, near about 10 to 15 sweets are placed in front of you. But it is not possible for anyone, either you or for me or for anyone, not to taste or not to eat all the sweets. So now, based on the required condition, some people they preferred high sweetness. So that particular people in generally may use either jalebi or jangri. Some people they preferred low sweet. So in that particular condition, they may go for doodh peda. So likewise, based on the requirements or based on their happy feeling, that particular persons may choose either any one or two sweets. So in the similar way, here in front of us 5 different categories of cutting fluids are available. So once we know 5 categories of fluids available, how to use, whenever we are using a particular material or whenever we are using a particular operation, which type of oil is supposed to be selected. So that is, selection of cutting fluid is very, very important. Once we know the properties and once we know the types of cutting fluids, then the next important criteria required is the selection of cutting fluids. So that particular selection of cutting fluids depends upon various parameters. The selection of cutting fluids depends upon various parameters. What are the various parameters? So the selection of a fluid for any particular application depends upon, so cutting tool material, very, very important. Support piece is a high carbide tip. So generally carbide tools are prepared or for manufactured in the form of the tips, because the cost of the carbide is very, very high. That's why instead of making that cutting tool complete total body with a particular carbide, a small size of carbide tip is brazed to a particular solid material. In generally, that may be EN material. That means for a EN material means it is one category of mild steel category, but where that particular percentage of carbon is more, it is considered as the EN category, like EN24, EN32, EN46, like that one. So this particular carbide tip is brazed to a EN material. So that what happened, that particular cost of carbide tool is less as compared to using a carbide tool. That means the complete body is prepared with a carbide tool, then this cost is very, very high. So that's why a small tip or a small portion of carbide is brazed to a required length of size of body. So that means whenever a carbide tip is used, whenever a carbide cutting tool is used, generally the heat produced, the rate of heat produced is very high. Suppose if that particular cutting tool is a high-speed steel, if that particular cutting material or cutting tool is high speed steel, then the heat produced is very less as compared to the carbide tool. Still, that particular heat produced is somewhat by that particular high speed steel, but as compared to the carbide tool, the rate of heat produced by the high speed steel is less. In sometimes, in order to perform operations, it is soft materials like plastic and wood. Instead of using high speed steel, by using a high carbon steel material also used. Suppose example, that particular hacksaw blade used to cut MS flats. So that particular blade, that particular blade required to cut that particular MS flat is high carbon steel, not a high speed steel or not a carbide steel. So in that particular case, the rate of heat produced is less for that particular high carbon steel material. So based on that particular type of cutting tool, the required cutting fluid may select. So the next one is the workpiece material. So the selection of cutting fluid also depend on the workpiece material also. Suppose if we go through that particular machining of lead, that particular machining of lead is very smooth. So that particular cutting fluid required simply water soluble oil. Suppose if it is the aluminum material, that particular aluminum material is also very soft. That's why rate of heat produced is less. So whenever that particular aluminum is processed, so the simply oils may be used like water soluble oils or state oils. Suppose if that particular material is a hard material, in that particular condition, we are supposed to choose chemical compounds or chemically additives. So based on the workpiece material also, the selection of cutting fluid is dependent. So next, operation being performed. Suppose if it is a thread cutting operation, that particular friction offered to the cutting tool and the job is very high. That means for thread cutting operation, whether it may be aluminum material or whether it may be cast iron material or whether it may be a mild steel material or whether it may be copper material, in generally the rate of heat produced is very high. Not only rate of heat produced, in order to remove the chip very smooth way, that particular operation required suitable cutting fluid. In some situations, for some operations performed on the aluminum material, there is no need of even to use that particular water soluble oil. So that means that is called as the dry lubrication. Dry lubrication means without using. Don't get dry lubrication is different with the solid lubrication. Solid lubrication means we are using some solid materials, but when dry lubrication means without using any material, simply that particular job is performed. So in generally for soft materials like lead and aluminum, to perform simple operations like plane turning or step turning, that particular operations and that particular materials or that particular jobs may not require any type of cutting fluid or lubricant. That means for same material, if thread cutting operation is supposed to perform, then it requires that particular cutting fluid or lubricant. So that means not only on cutting tool and workpiece, the operation is also very, very important to consider before selection of this particular cutting fluid. So next one is the cost factor. So in the previous types of categories of cutting fluids itself, I explained to you the major advantage of this particular water soluble oils is cost cutting or the cost required for produce a required quantity is very less. So that means if a particular operator or if a particular firm can't interest to pay large amounts, suppose if it is a small unit or if it is that particular person is having only one lathe machine and one drilling machine, then he can't consider the cost factor. But if it is a large industry which consists a multi number of lathe machines or multi number of machines with different types. Suppose if a company is having 20 to 30 lathe machines, at the same time it is having 6 to 10 milling machines, at the same time it is having 2 to 3 shaper machines, at the same time it is having 3 to 4 grinding machines. In that particular condition, the quantity of required cutting fluid is very large extent. So in that particular case, the cost of the cutting fluid is also supposed to be considered. Observe this one, this cost factor. Generally, the cost factor is considered for a units or for a industries which are having a large numbers. If for small firm or if a particular operator or if a particular owner is having 1 or 2 units, for him it should not appear as a large criteria. But for a large firm which consists multi numbers of various or different types of machines, for them this cost factor is also very important to consider for selecting of the required cutting fluid. So next, service expected. So simply usage of this particular water soluble oils. So by using this particular cost factor, if that particular firm or if that particular operator chooses or selects that particular water soluble oil, so for some materials it may be best suitable, or for some operations it is served in the best way or in the ultimate way. But for some materials or some operations, the applying or the using of low cost cutting fluids. In order to consider cost factor, we are using low cost oils. But using or applying of that particular low cost oils may leads to reduce that particular expected service. So that's why we are supposed to consider the combination of both these two, cost factor and service effect expected. So in order to get advantage at this one, if we are using unwanted or different type of cutting fluid, then it leads to reduction in the service. So service expected is also very important in order to choose the cutting fluid. So service expected means here not the years or not months. In generally, a cutting tool is supposed to perform its cutting operations minimum for 2 to 3 days. Otherwise, what happen if the cutting fluid requires its regrinding, or if the particular cutting tool is supposed to be adjusting its cutting edges for frequently, that means either 2 to 3 times per day, then it leads to reduction in the production. Okay, so that means during the considering of the cost factor, we are supposed to consider the expected service also. So next one is the cutting condition. This particular cutting condition is also very important you to consider or to choose the particular required cutting fluid. So next one. So cutting fluids for different operations and different material with HSS tool. So just now I explained to you selection of cutting fluid different on various parameters. What are the various parameters? Different cutting tools. So here we are discussing about HSS tool, one type of cutting tool with different materials with different operations. So during the selection of cutting fluid, we are mainly supposed to consider 3 parameters. What are the 3 parameters? First one is the cutting tool, type of cutting tool. Second one is the type of workpiece or type of material to be performed. Third one is the type of operation. Here we are discussing about the requirement of cutting fluid for a particular cutting tool, that is HSS tool. That means if HSS tool is used to perform various operations on various materials, what are the required cutting fluid to be selected? So it is explained in the clear format. Observe. That means if HSS cutting tool is used to perform different jobs on aluminum. Different jobs on aluminum. So as aluminum is a soft material, the particular operation turning, the turning is a simple process. Simply the cutting tool moves over the surface. So that's why what happened, this particular aluminum required soluble oil. What soluble oil? Water soluble oil is just sufficient for turning operation. That means in order to perform turning operation, that means whether it may be step turning or plane turning or taper turning. In order to perform this particular turning operations, that soluble oil is just sufficient. Soluble oil is sufficient. Even though we may use chemical compound also, but unnecessarily cost increase, because the fourth criteria, what is the fourth criteria? Cost. So in order to reduce that particular cost, instead of using the chemical compound, simply water soluble oil is best suitable to perform turning operations on aluminum. In the similar way, whenever the aluminum is undergoes either grinding or drilling operation, in the grinding operation what happen? The speed of that particular grinding wheel is very high. Whenever that particular high speed grinding wheel in contact with aluminum surface, so the rate of heat produced increases as compared to the turning. And in the similar way for drilling operation also, whenever a drill enters or penetrates into the particular job, whether it may be aluminum or copper, what happens? That particular contact of or heat carried by that particular air or surrounding is very, very less, because the total drill bit is inserted within the high temperature or within that particular job where temperature increases. So that's why generally the preferred oil is either kerosene or lard oil, or even this particular water soluble oil may also used for this particular grinding or drilling operations. Observe, generally turning operation is performed on that particular lathe machine. Grinding operation is performed on a grinding machine. Different types of grinding machine. Surface grinding is there, internal grinding is there, external grinding like that one. Tool and cutter grinding is there. So like that, for drilling and grinding machines, so the generally selected or required lubricants are this kerosene oil, lard oil and soluble oil. Suppose for same aluminum material, if that particular operation is performed either on milling machine or planing machine, then also that particular soluble oils or mineral oils are just sufficient. And now come to sawing. Sawing is a very simple operation, so that's why simply water soluble oil is just sufficient. The thing is, only for broaching operation, even for a soft material like aluminum also, the required type of cutting fluid is sulfur chlorinated oil. So just now we discussed about types of cutting fluids. So that are chemical additives. Chemical additives means if sulfur oil or if sulfur compound is mixed with chlorinated oil, then it is called as the superchlorinated oil or sulfur chlorinated oil. This particular sulfur chlorinated oil is required for broaching operation. Next, now come to this particular copper. The copper is having very good lubrication. So that's why for simple operation like turning and drilling operation, the copper may used dry. Dry means without using anything, without using any type of lubricant or cutting fluid. But preferably, if the particular size of the component or if the size of that particular copper is very large or very high, then soluble oil or kerosene may be also required. But in generally, yes, copper of small size or that particular cutting operation or that particular turning or drilling operation is supposed to perform within less time. In that particular condition, there is no need to use cutting fluid. Suppose if that particular copper is supposed to place either on a milling machine or on a planing machine, that means if the copper undergoes through either milling operation or planing operation, then instead of dry material, that means instead of performing the operation without using any cutting fluid or lubricant, that particular copper is supposed to be machined by using soluble oil whenever the operation is performed either on milling machine or on planing machine. So in the similar way, the same copper may use water soluble oil whenever it performs sawing operations. So likewise, this particular copper, in general, after observing this particular table, simply our conclusion is what it be the material, whether it is aluminum or copper or brass or bronze. Simply the particular operation, the particular cutting fluid required is the superchlorinated oil or sulfur chlorinated oil. But for other operations, for sawing purpose, irrespective of this material, whether it may be aluminum or copper or brass or bronze, simply the water soluble oil is sufficient. Whereas for turning operation, except for aluminum, for remaining these three materials, even dry condition may also suitable. Dry condition suitable means there is no need or there is no requirement for using this particular soluble oil also. But for generally for this particular grinding and milling operations, the dry condition is not at all recommendable. So they are required soluble oils or mineral oils. So the next one is the different materials. So far we discuss about non-ferrous metals. So far we discuss about non-ferrous metals. Observe carefully. So all these are the non-ferrous metals. Generally, the particular non-ferrous metals having good lubrication conditions by its own. That's why the quantity or the type of lubricant required is simple dry lubrication or simply water soluble oils. Now come to this particular, these are the ferrous metals. So this particular ferrous metals, so this particular cast iron, it is also having smooth, it is also good lubricating capacity. That's why for turning operation, the condition required is dry also suitable. But whereas for other operations, in generally, instead of dry condition, some either air jet soluble oil. Air jet soluble oil means the soluble oil. What is the difference between soluble oil and air jet? Air jet means that particular air applied. Air jet is different, soluble oil is different. Observe carefully. In the air jet means the air is passing through that particular job and cutting tool, between the job and cutting tool with high velocity. So that is the jet. What is the jet? Means flow of a fluid. Flow of a fluid with high velocity is called as the jet. Simple definition. What is the meaning of, what is the concept of jet? Means flow of a fluid. Flow of a fluid with a high velocity is called as the, or is considered as the jet. So in this particular one, in order to perform drilling or grinding operation on the cast iron, either dry condition or water soluble oil, or if possible, the air jet may also use it to perform the required functions. So in the similar way, this particular cast iron also use dry condition or soluble oil condition for the milling and planing machines. Okay. In the similar way, for all these ferrous metals, in order to perform broaching operation, in general what happens, broaching operation, so far I explained to you lathe and shaper machine. So the next chapter is supposed to be discussed is broaching machine. So in the broaching machine, the operation required is performed by using a cutting tool named or called as the broaching tool. So the broaching tool is having a multi-cutting point tool, whereas it is a lathe machine or shaper machine, it is a single point cutting tool. But whereas this particular broaching tool, it is a multi-cutting point tool. And this particular broaching tool, it moves with high speed. So because of that particular multi-point cutting tool, and which moves with high speed, or the rate of machining is fast. That's why generally the heat produced between the job and cutting tool is more. So that's why the type of lubricant used for this particular ferrous metals for broaching operation is high sulfurized fatty chlorinated oil. So in the previous also, that means in the for previous non-ferrous metal also we are using sulfur chlorinated oil, but in that particular one the quantity of sulfur oil is less. But whereas in this particular ferrous metals, the same sulfur chlorinated oil may use, but the ratio of that particular or quantity of that particular sulfur oil and chlorinated oil changes. So in this particular one, the quantity of sulfurized oil is supposed to be increases as compared to the previous non-ferrous metal operations. So that's why for all these ferrous metals, for broaching operation, high sulfurized fatty chlorinated are used. And for the simple remaining operations, either soluble oil or mineral oil may be just sufficient. All these conditions are for HSS tool only. Suppose if the cutting tool is supposed to be used different materials, then we are supposed to use other one. So in this class today, we discuss about types of cutting fluids. So before that one, once again we revise what are the previous topics. That means what are the properties. After reviewing the properties of that particular coolant, cutting fluids and coolants. So next in today's class we discuss about types of cutting fluids. After completion of types of cutting fluid, then we discuss about selection of cutting fluid, and next we discuss in generally what are the different types of oils or what are the different of cutting fluids used for different conditions whenever that particular cutting tool performed is HSS tool. So in the next class we discuss the next topics.